Welcome to the HubFizz live show, where you can get ideas to help your eco-conscious business grow. Thank you for joining us. And hi, Gail. Gail, today my guest is Gail D'Almaine from Dalmaine Photography, and we're talking about how to showcase your business in online meetings and live streams. So welcome, Gail, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, Karen. Thanks very much for inviting me. It's a real privilege to be on here, so thanks very much. Thanks.
Fantastic. So Gail, can you tell us a bit more about what you do and who you work with?
I work with people who are self-employed, people who are their own brands, and I work with businesses who require images that have multiple uses. So, for example, when I photograph something, I photograph like an art director, so it can be cropped to any angle. I photograph outside, especially. I like photographing on the beach, in the fields, but I also do buildings. In fact, I like working with light, so and I get a real kick out of making sure that people look their best and that their products look their best, and we have fun while we do it, so that's important.
Fantastic. So we're talking about looking good online, obviously, and you're looking fabulous today, by the way. And
thank you. So are you. You're doing all the right things.
Thank you. And in the current lockdown, people have obviously been moving to virtual meetups, Zoom meetings, doing more live video, doing live streams. So what advice can you give to business owners to kind of make the most of being online?
Well, one of the first things is to make sure that you have that your face is visible, that you have everything in that. I'm just going to show you what happens when it's not. See, a lot of people will talk like this. They've got a window on one side and they just keep talking, and they don't realize that actually it's not a very flattering thing. And can you imagine if you've got loads of different boxes with people, then it's very hard work to concentrate on every person at the same time. So making sure that you do something like this obviously makes a big difference. So that's the first thing, actually, is making sure that you have light on your face. The second thing is making sure that your camera's high enough, because we've all seen those shots where people are hunched over, they've got the camera facing up, and all you can see is their nostrils. And I think that's just, I think that's awful. It's not pleasant, and people do this and they go like this, and you know, if someone's not paying you attention, it's very demotivating, and I think you're going to get bored and just wander off, frankly. So that's one of the things. I think the main thing is to get your face in light. The second thing is to make sure that your background is not too distracting. And you're using one of your brand colors, which is a really excellent idea. And you can make backgrounds from anything, Karen. You can, you know, if you've got an old sheet, if you've got something like, actually what makes a really good background is if you've ever done any painting and you have those dust sheets and they're kind of like a beigey color and they're a really good texture. If you just hang those behind you, you know, drape them over some kind of screen, or you could put hooks in the wall and just use that as a temporary thing to hold it, then that works really well too.
Yeah, so that's that was going to sort of be one of my questions, that you know, as an eco-conscious business owner, you know, what can people do to create some backgrounds? So this, you know, I think there's lots of eco ways you can do that. But talking of backgrounds, we've noticed, you know, a lot of people using different backgrounds in these meetings. So how can people use them more strategically, sort of, you know, to promote their brand more, rather than just say having a really busy your room in the background or something a bit busy? I mean, I know you've experienced this a lot.
Yeah, so I've been working with some virtual backgrounds, and I think they're really cool. So I think if you have a brand color and it's, say, pink, then something like this can actually make you stand out quite well. I've got my logo on there, and if there's a lot of boxes, then this is quite clean and easy to look at. It's not hard work. If you have something, if you, for example, own a shop, or you've just moved to an arcade, then you can use something like this. So there's the arcade. This is the Royal Arcade, and it's there, and it puts me very particularly in a place. One of the other things is doing something like this. So if I'm actually promoting a new frame and a new style of photography, then it's a really good idea to have that. This is on virtual background, so you can make yourself an image that you can use really easily. This is just with a light bulb. Oh look, I've lost my arm. That's one of the downsides of using virtual backgrounds. You can lose limbs. If you've got a book you're promoting, for example, then something like this is great. If you're in a obviously, if you're networking, something like that's really good. If you're in a formal meeting, then something like this is actually really good value. And if you're in a team meeting, then you should all be pretty much having the same background and have your head same size within the frame. You know, it's not good if someone's like this and someone's like this. It's very hard for the brain to deal with. What you want is something that's easy on the eye. One of the other things which I quite like, this place is in Norwich at a certain time of the year. And if you want some fun, oh, hang on a minute. This is also Norwich, so I can look like I'm on the news and have something very sensible to say. This is one of my favourite backgrounds at the moment. It's just for friends. It's a room full of cats. You know, a lot of people, a lot of companies like Pixar and Disney and the BBC are actually letting people use stills and bits from their archives to make things more interesting. So this is one of those. I don't know if you recognise this. This is from Toy Story.
Yeah.
So if you're having a meeting with someone who you know loves Toy Story, then do you know what? This just might be the thing that makes you more memorable, and also it's fun. This is a very painterly picture of Norwich Cathedral, which also makes me memorable in an artistic way. And I guess that's all of it. And by the way, if you want to get back to your normal self, you click the none thing. So there we are. This is me back to normal.
Fantastic, really good. Just want to say hi to a couple of guests on the show. So hi, Nikki Kennedy. Hello, Annette Murphy. She said she loves the book idea.
Oh, hi, Annette.
So yeah, thank you and welcome for joining us live on the show. We currently, for those who might have just joined a bit late, we're talking to Gail D'Almaine about making the most of online meetings and live streams. So we've covered talking about, you know, lighting, camera angles, and using different virtual backgrounds. So if you've missed any of this, of course, you can go back and watch the replay right where you're watching at the moment after the live is done. So did you have any, we talked a bit about using other different backgrounds sort of from an eco-conscious point of view. Did you have any others that you could think of? You talk about draping materials over, I suppose virtual backgrounds as well. I mean, it's very easy because you can just make a JPEG image and upload it. So.
Well, quite often, if you have a garden or you're a gardener, you might want to actually just do a live on your phone from your garden, because that is the way. As long as you're facing into the light. If you own a polytunnel, there's really good light in those, so that's a good thing to remember. You can use virtual backgrounds on your phone. We've discovered that the iPhone works. We're not so sure about the Android phones yet, but I'm sure something will follow soon because they don't want to miss out on these kind of things. If you are someone who works with wood or something like that, it might be that you have some wood to just put behind you to make a backdrop to, you know, in real life, a backdrop to work with. So anything that you do, if you crochet, for example, these fabulous blankets, what better background than to have a piece of your work like that? Or just bearing in mind, go easy on the eye.
Yeah. Okay, some really good ideas there. We are, by the way, if you've got any questions or comments, please do add them. We are going to try and keep this to 10 minutes. We've kind of hit that now, but this is our first one, so we are just, you know, trying to get in the groove. But Gail, you've also got a special offer for our listeners and watchers you're on now. Can you just tell us quickly what it is and how they can get it?
Yeah, I have a PDF with examples to show you the best ways of doing your Zoom lives, and whether you want to use that in a formal meeting, as we've talked about, or promotionally, etc. And I have used examples, so that it's easy to see. And I will send you that if you like my page, which is Dalmaine Photography. If you comment there, that would be nice too. If you comment here, that would be. Can you comment everywhere? Like everything.
Comment, like, and share. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Everything. So yes, I'll be delighted to share that information.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I think if you want to find out more about Gail, please find her. You can find her obviously on Facebook at Dalmaine, or search Dalmaine Photography. She's Dalmaine Original on Instagram, or you can go to her website, which is dalmaine.com, and you'll find all her contact details and further links to social media on there. So yeah, so thank you so much, Gail, for joining us on the first show ever.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. Some really great valuable tips, which I hope people can take away and try. But obviously, guys, if you want to know more, we can do more live shows on this, or possibly, maybe organize a sort of Zoom meeting, which is a bit more interactive and longer. So, we can talk about that. Just let us know if that's something of interest. And next week, I'm going to be... Sorry?
Sorry, if you've got a specific question, like I do this, what can I do for that? Then please, do get in touch, because I'd love to help. And I think it's proof. And Karen, we talked about your setup, didn't we? And I think yours is looking really fabulous. So you're doing everything right.
Thank you. Right. So so next week we will be talking to Nikki Kennedy. A very interesting one about reusing paper products in your home and office to create some amazing things, which will help reduce costs in your business, be more eco-friendly, and also attract the right kind of clients. So, how can you stand out? So I'll be sharing more details about that soon on this page. So I hope you can join us then. And so thanks once again. Thanks to all of you listening. Thanks to Gail.
Thank you. I timed it, so I'm afraid we're off now. The lights are out.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.